Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we hear arguments from both sides involving a lawsuit by the ACLU of Kentucky as it tries to block part of a certain bill. And an Eastern Kentucky nonprofit offers an opportunity for young adults to learn the skills needed to build a house while making some money during the summer.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Chas Gayhart. It is 6:01 on Friday, May 5th. Let's go over and check in with Brandon. I know everybody, people want to know what you have to say.
Listen, happy Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we have that to celebrate today and the Derby tomorrow.
Exactly.
Busy weekend.
Busy weekend, lots going on. Let's take a look and see what's going on right now this morning. I-75 at London. We're looking again at some light traffic. We had quite a bit of traffic just a minute ago. They're still in the 40s down that way. A little bit of haze on that camera this morning, but overall, not doing it too bad. Let's take a look, see what's going on across parts of the rest of the region there temperature-wise. If I can get it to move. Come on now. There you go. 34 in Clintwood to 50 in Moorhead. That's kind of our range out there this morning. So again, a lot of the 40s, 30s and 40s out there. There's that 150 and then that one mid-30s. So maybe it's some patchy frost in Clintwood and Grundy. I think everybody else is still above the threshold there to get us kind of squared away. But again, it's just going to be one of those situations where we are going to continue to see cooler temperatures. But what is today's forecast? Well, not so cool this afternoon, 75, but unfortunately, I guess it depends on how you look at it. Partly to mostly cloudy skies, so dreary looking, but no rain chances until tonight, and even then, not great chances. Chas?
Thanks, Brandon. Well, the ACLU of Kentucky filed a lawsuit this week trying to block a portion of Senate Bill 150. The bill was vetoed by Governor Andy Beshear, but later became law after a veto override by the Republican-controlled Kentucky legislature. Julia Sandor has more from people on both sides of the issue.
The law is supposed to go into effect on June 29th, and so we'll be asking the court to say that on June 29th, kids can continue to get the health care they need and providers can continue to provide that care that they believe is medically necessary without fear of losing their license.
ACLU Kentucky is targeting one part of Senate Bill 150, which bans some gender-affirming care for minors. It involves the sections that ban puberty blockers and hormone therapy, but does not challenge a ban on gender-affirming surgery for minors. The ACLU says the bill violates the U.S. Constitution.
Lawmakers are saying that they're protecting them from a life-changing decision, which is life-changing for the better. Like, we won't be able to see trans kids grow up if we don't have this gender-affirming care.
Issa Leone, Transylvania student and activist, says just 2 years ago, this bill could have negatively impacted her life. The ACLU says that a preliminary injunction could help. But David Walls with the Family Foundation has been advocating for SB 150 all session long. He says this lawsuit underscores the need for protecting children.
In the context of SB 150, the General Assembly, Kentuckians and supporting their members in the General Assembly made an emphatic statement that we do not want to see children harmed from these procedures.
While the controversial legislation continues to be a topic of conversation across the Commonwealth, the ACLU says they believe they have winning arguments.
That was Julia Sandor reporting. Well, there's been a big announcement for Kentucky's foster children and those who provide care for them. Governor Andy Beshear says his administration is providing $41.5 million to the foster care system. The funds will start being distributed this month to the 45 providers and their more than 120 foster care agencies. The funds are a result of cost savings the state has achieved by reducing the number of children in foster care. Figuring out plans for after high school graduation can be daunting for some students, deciding between going to college or maybe just entering the workforce. But how do they figure it all out if they don't know what they enjoy? WYMT's Olivia Calfee talked with staff at one Eastern Kentucky nonprofit who's offering an internship opportunity to give students real-world work experience in construction trade while also serving their community.
The Housing Development Alliance staff believes work is supposed to be both fulfilling and fun. And lucky for upcoming or recent high school graduates, they have the opportunity to make their summer break count.
You're going to be helping your community. You're going to be helping flood survivors build new homes, get home repairs.
Students 18 to 20 years old in Breathitt, Knott, Leslie, and Perry counties can apply. Mindy Miller with HDA says they want to encourage young people the importance of learning a trade.
You're getting paid to learn that trade. You're also, expanding your horizons by helping your community. And more than anything, you're not only growing as a person, but you're giving yourself more of a chance to stay in this community and work here.
And lead carpenter Stephen Hurt says he has enjoyed investing in interns over the years and loves seeing them really understand what goes on at a job site.
Well, there's more than just a house being built or someone moving in. They get to take part in actually doing that and helping not only us, but the homeowners themselves.
Both Hurt and Miller also say they encourage women to apply, hoping to remind young girls that they can do anything they set their mind to.
We have women out here with us in the field, and they hang right with the guys. I mean, they do their part. And it's been a great experience for all of us to be able to do that, to work with them.
That was Olivia Calfee reporting. This program is 8 weeks long, and HDA staff says this summer the internship will get to help build at least 2 new homes and complete at least 5 rehabs. There's more information on how to apply on our website at WYMT.com. The deadline is May 12th. People across eastern Kentucky and the nation paused and prayed together yesterday as part of the National Day of Prayer. This week, a group of South Korean missionaries are in southeastern Kentucky to spread the word of God. They joined the National Day of Prayer ceremony in downtown London. A translator told us why they came.
He just wants you all to know that the Gwangmyeong Church, the Korean church, was a church founded on prayer. Their foundation and their core is still prayer. And this is why that it's important that you all understand that we are sending our 40 teams here, 410 members total, across the United States to share that same belief in prayer.
The pastor says the group hopes to visit more churches in the future and continue spreading the word of God. The Harlan County community is mourning the loss of a longtime educator and artist. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox tells us how Bob Howard was a light in the world for so many people.
A Harlan County native, Bob Howard graduated from Everett's High School in 1970. After college, Howard became a coal miner, but once the coal business started slowing down, he started to look for other careers. That was when his teaching career began.
I knew Bob from way back, and I knew he had art talent. So I told the board member at the time, Mr. Coleman, that we need to get him in as an art teacher at Everett's.
After 18 years of teaching art classes and 10 years of directing athletics, the position for principal of Everett's High School opened, and board members knew Howard would be the person to hire.
I don't think Bob Howard ever met a stranger, and he worked with the community very good, and he involved the community. I mean, when there's a project going on or some kind of school event, he made sure the community was involved.
A few years later, 3 schools were consolidated into Harlan County High School. Board members knew who the school's first principal would be.
After assessing all the candidates, and we had a lot of good quality candidates, there was one that stood out beyond all the rest, and that was Bob Howard.
Howard put in work beyond principal duties, even using his artistic talents to build a hillside bear paw made of coal. He also spent many evenings cheering on his students.
He was the biggest cheerleader that we had here at the school when he come in. And he did help bring the community together, I feel like, and made this a very good school to start out with.
Even after Howard retired from the school system, he continued to connect with teachers and students until the day he died. In Harlan County, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
The funeral and visitation for Howard will be held at Everett's Funeral Home on Saturday, May 6th. The visitation will be at 12 p.m. and the funeral will follow at 3 p.m. Bob Howard was 70 years old.
Coming up on 611, Bob Howard, a good man. I once talked to him when I was working here when they tried to open Harlan County High School the first time and they had some flooding issues. Talked to him on the phone. He's always been a good fellow. All right, let's take a look, see what's going on this morning across our region. London Corbin Airport, seeing the light coming into the sky out there. Plane on the right, helicopter on the left, and you can see that it's about 42 down that way this morning. Pressure steady, about 30.09, so kind of right there in the middle, and we see dew points a little bit on the not wetter side, but a little bit on the more kind of calm side, I guess is the best way to put it. We're looking at temperatures from the 30s in Clintwood and Grundy to the 50s in Moorhead. That's the warmest and coldest spots. 34 Clintwood, 36 Grundy, 50 in Moorhead. A lot of 30s and 40s in between those two areas there. Next few hours, we're heading into the mid-70s. We're also going to pick up a few more clouds later today, but we stay dry all the way into the first part of the night when we could have a stray chance for a passing shower. Chas?
Thanks, Brandon, and thank you for joining Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Coming up, members of the Proud Boys are convicted for their roles in the insurrection at U.S. Capitol back in 2021. Stay with us, that's on the way next.